a few thoughts with you, and I want you to think about your goals and dreams right now. I was thinking and reflecting on my life this morning around 5:30 Eastern Time, and one of my daughters called me Samaya, who is we call her the little minister in the family. And she said, "Dad," I said, "Yes." She said, "I dreamed about you last night," and she said, "I've never said this to you, but you know, I won't say it unless I actually know this to be true." I said, "Okay, so what is it? Let me have it." And she said, "God told me that you have more in you to give, that you have not given your best speech yet. You have more speeches in you. And I just wanted to say that to you this morning." And she said, "I love you. Bye for now." I said, "Okay." And I began to reflect on how I got here, where I am. A friend of mine was on a train going across Europe, just traveling and trying to find himself. And soldiers boarded the train and asked several questions. First question, who are you? And that's what I started thinking about. Les, who are you? This person that people say that they enjoy your stories, your voice, your speaking, your training, the person that you have become. Are you consistent with that person in this environment where we are right now? As we think about Viktor Frankl, he said that adversity introduces a person to themselves. So, how are you showing up in the midst of all of this? You've been into a place where it was a new landscape. I remember when Dr. Alfred Golson, who's a top oncologist, and he said to me, "Mr. Brown," he said, "I got some bad news for you." I said, "Is that right? What is it?" I sat up. My daughter Ona was with me. He said, "You have prostate cancer, and your PSA is 2,400. I said, "Well, what does that mean?" He said, 1 to 4 is normal. I said, "Oh, okay. What else?" "It's metastasized to 7 areas of your body, including the T1 vertebrae, eating 43% of your T1 vertebrae." I said, "Whoa." He said, "Did you understand what I just said?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Why are you smiling?" I said, "Man, Dr. Golson, 7 is my lucky number." I said, "I was born February the 17th. I am one of 7 children. Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times. Naaman dipped himself in the river Jordan 7 times." I said, "7 is my lucky number." He looked at his nurse and said, "This is a strange one." And I said, "Can you give me a second opinion?" He said, "Yes. And you're ugly too." I said, "No, you didn't. I know you didn't go there. You didn't just call me ugly, did you?" He said, "Yes, I did. But you got this. You got this. I never tell a patient of mine they're terminally ill. I tell them that my knowledge, my abilities, and my skills have terminated. Now, you have to explore some other options. We do the diagnosis. You and God will determine the prognosis. And when I left his office with a heart full of faith as opposed to a heart full of fear. We're in a fearful place right now. A lot of people are stressing out and very fearful. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I love an acronym that Zig Ziglar once had. He said that in a fearful place, the majority of people forget everything and run. But there's another group, a smaller group. The road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it. And he said that group, they face everything and rise. I want to say to you right now something that you already know. Life is on your side. Life is on your side. You have something special. You have greatness in you. You were born for such a time as this. And as you look at yourself and look at your goals and look at your business and look at your family members and your friends, your voice, your story, your courage, and your faith is needed now more than ever before. More than ever. Because when you think about this place where we are, over 50 million people have lost their jobs just in the United States because of the coronavirus, and even millions more around the world. When you think about the fact that just in the United States before the coronavirus, the suicide rate increased over 32% and soared to over 70% with kids as young as 5 years old to 11. And so, in this place, in this space where we are, when Dr. Golson spoke to me, he did something. I want you to write this down: distract, dispute, and inspire. That is, you look at yourself, look at your goals, look at your business, look at where you want to go. Who are you? Why are you here? Where are you going? And why should anybody care? That this is a time that we're in a cocoon, that you want to upgrade your skills. This is a time that you have to begin to rethink your life, because things that have worked in the past, they won't work in this setting. We're in that place where Einstein said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. And so when you speak to your team, when you speak to people, if you are making a point, influencing people, or you want to increase your sales, that your voice, your story, your power voice, distract, dispute, and inspire. That when you speak, that, that people, as I said, how they live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. You distract them from their story. I can't make it. This is too much. Oh my God, I'm confused. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I've lost my job. I'm going through foreclosure. I'm about to be evicted. My marriage is on the rocks. Write this down. Faith, not tested, can't be trusted. See, it's easy to have faith when you have your health. It's easy to have faith when your relationship is working out and the children are acting like they have good sense. I've had some moments with my children where I said, "You about to make me lose my mind up in here, about to make me act a fool up in here, up in here." It's easy then, but when the rug has been snatched out from under you, think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulation. Viktor Frankl calls it unavoidable suffering. You're going to go through some stuff. You're going to go through some stuff. My heart goes out to the thousands of people that have died and their family members. We're living in a time where leadership is chaotic and confusing, and it has a trickle down effect on the collective consciousness of people. A time of hatefulness and divisiveness, unlike things I haven't seen since I was a child. I'm 75 years old. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing of two. I remember going downtown in Miami. See, I was born in a poor section of Miami called Liberty City, an abandoned building with my twin brother Wesley. And we were taken in as foster kids. And then ultimately, my mother, this is Mamie Brown, she adopted us. I'm here because of two women. One gave me life, the other one gave me love. God took me from my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. And then Mama, she took in 5 other children. So 7 of us altogether, and she raised us single-handedly. And one day she wanted to go downtown and she asked our next door neighbor to watch us. But she said, Leslie, I said, yes, ma'am, you're going to have to come with me, son. The neighbors didn't want to look out for me. They didn't want to keep me. They said, Mamie, could you take him with you? I think he's a little touched in the head. So much energy, you know? Uh, when I was in fifth grade, I was labeled educable mentally retarded and put back from the fifth grade to the fourth grade and failed again in the eighth grade. I don't have any college training, but I had an experience. The first one, somebody asked me, you just wrote this book, You've Got to Be Hungry, The Greatness Within to Win. When did that come to you? And I said, the hunger part? Well, I can tell you when that was. I was downtown with my mother, about 95 degrees. I saw some white kids drinking from a water fountain, and I just let her hand go, and I struck out and I started drinking from that water fountain when they got through. And my mother, she said, don't you ever do that again, and grabbed me by my neck and slung me to the ground and punched me in the face and was fighting me like I was a grown person. And I wasn't trying to fight back. I was shocked. I said, Mama, this crazy looking eyes. I said, it's me, Mama, it's me. And then after a while, a white policeman who was observing came over. And he was hitting his hand with his billy club. He said, okay, you can stop beating that little nigger boy now. He's learned his lesson. He will never drink from that fountain again. And he walked away looking at me. My eye was swollen, lips swollen, mouth bleeding, and he laughed. I learned you. Yeah, I learned you. And my mother, at that time, she grabbed me and she held me. He said, Leslie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I did that to you. I said, Mama, why did you beat me like that? And she said, that white policeman, I saw his face turn red and he was coming towards you. And had he hit you with that billy club, he would have had to kill me and I'd have left you and your brothers and sisters by yourselves. I said, why would he hit me? I didn't do nothing. She said, that water fountain, that's for white people only. We can't drink from there. I said, why, Mama? Because we're black. I said, what's wrong with that? She said, I can't explain it to you, but I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And that day, I knew I lived in two worlds. Martin Seligman, in his book called Learned Optimism, he said, between the ages of 0 and 6, we formulate a word in our heart. That word is yes, or that word is no. And I knew then I lived in a different world than those little white kids. We got on the bus coming back to Liberty City. There was a yellow line on the floor of the bus, and there were seats available up front, and black people were packed in the back. And I said, Mama, can we sit right here? She said, no, keep walking, keep walking. Keep walking past that yellow line. You have to stand back there. I said, Mama, why? Listen to what I just said. We paid like everybody else. Listen to me, boy. And that created a hunger in me. Not to ever be treated less than. That created a hunger, a need to want to live an expanded life, to take care of my mother, to pay the bills, to buy her a home, to say thank you. It created a hunger. Here are people whose lives have been disrupted. They've lost all of their materialistic possessions and they're feeling hopeless and powerless and feel like they can't survive. And I say to you, that's not true. You have greatness in you. Some things happen to you, and some things happen for you. And when I look back on my life, that everything that I've experienced has caused me to become the person that I am. At the time, I thought it was happening to me. And we've all had the experience where we look back, delayed enlightenment, and realize it happened for me. To be able to help people who've been devastated by this thing called life, who faced Murphy's Law, who said if anything can go wrong, it will, and at the worst possible moment, who are living in a time where many people are divisive and violent and hateful. And what I learned, what Elsie Robinson said, things may happen around you and things may happen to you, but the only things that really count are the things that happen in you. And this time, where you are, you've been picked out to be picked on. And this time, where you are, I can tell you, God is still in control. You are more than a conqueror. But I know you can feel like Mother Teresa sometimes. She said, Lord, I know you know how much I can bear. I just wish you didn't have so much confidence in me. I know what she meant. Oh my God. To have cancer, to be ugly too. But you know what? You are a conqueror. You were born to win. You have something special. There's something in you. There's something about you. You were picked out to be picked on. There's something in you that if you don't release it, if you don't bring it, then the world will be deprived. Dr. Howard Thurman, who was a mentor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Albert Schweitzer and Mahatma Gandhi, he said there's something in each and every one of us that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have or hear. And he said, and if you cannot hear it, all of your life, your days will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. I submit to you that you have invested the time and the energy to listen to all of the speakers, including my guru and son, because you know that what's going on now, that's not going to define you. You know in your heart of hearts that you will fail your way to success. You know there's a voice in you saying to you, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You know what Earl Nightingale meant when he said, all of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. You know the line in Lion King, Simba, you are more than that which you have become. Yeah, yeah. Faith not tested can't be trusted. Keep the faith. Keep the faith in all of the odds. Keep the faith with all the mixed messages of politicians lying through their teeth with a straight face and out of their neck. Keep the faith with all the chaos and the confusion and the uncertainty that we are facing. Keep the faith because you have the power in you to create your own personal economy. Marion White said in life, when we don't have enough courage and insight to know that we have outgrown a situation and it's time to move on, life will move on us. This is a reckoning. This is an awakening. We were born for such a time as this. Yes, we were. And life is on your side. If you don't believe it, trust me on this. You'll be taking a dirt nap. Oh, yes. No. Judge not according to appearances. You can rebuild again. Walk by faith and not by sight. You can do this. You can come through this. Call forth those things that be not as though they were. This is your time. A lot of people say, now opportunity knocks on every door. No. Opportunity stands by silently waiting for us to recognize it. In crises, it's danger, but it also means opportunity. There are opportunities. And there are three types of people that's going to come out of this: millionaires, billionaires, and witnesses. And because you're part of this summit, you're going to be in the first two categories because you've invested in yourself. You're going to become a greater millionaire or a billionaire. I used to be so broke I'd walk past a bank and trip the alarm. Creditors would call the house and my children would say, my daddy say he ain't home. Poverty sucks. Do you hear me? Oh, this is your time. And so, what do we do now? First, what are the things that my guru son said? Take the time to say thank you, Lord. Thank you. Make a list of 7 things that you're grateful for. First, that you're still here. Millions of people are gone because of the coronavirus, but you are still here. That means your work is not done yet. You are still here. Don't make light of that. People dying today who never died before. You are still here. That means that God is not through with you yet. Oh my God. It'd be my little corona hairstyle. I told my barber, I said, I'm keeping social distancing. Learn how to cut my hair 6 feet away. And he said, oh, I haven't learned yet. I said, okay, well, I'm going to keep growing it. There's a movie called A House Party, Kid and Play. I'm Kid. And so here's what's most important right now. Write this down. Building mental resolve. Yes, see, when things happen, when life happens, a lot of people, they're talking about the, the fall and the flu season. You know what I'm concerned about? Mental breakdowns. You're talking about this third wave. I'm talking about the fourth wave of mental breakdowns. Divorce rate increased by 40%. Domestic violence off the hook.